amazing that we're still, struggling through the pandemic, entering our third year, third calendar year. So looking ahead to 2022, another momentous year ahead, hopefully better than the past. But what can we expect in 2022? What are the kinds of things that leaders should be thinking about as we go into the next year?
But probably say more of the same, but even more. So the leaders actually have to work with and through people to be successful. They can't do it alone, that's for sure.
Yes, and I think this, you would hear people saying they're hoping when it gets back to normal, where there is no back to normal, as we all know now. And one of the things that we encourage people to think about in the coming year is how can you dance with the change that's showing up in your life. I often think about watching that dance show on TV, Dancing with the Stars. People learn, really great dancers can dance with another person and make it look easy. And leaders are going to have to learn to be agile and flexible, take care of themselves, and really figure out how they're going to dance with the change that's going to keep coming.
Yeah, and but individual leaders have reached their capacity in terms of their intellectual quotient to deal with complexity. So the only way that they can be successful going forward is to engage others, to have a collective mind. Because in a complex situation, there is no knowing. You don't know what's going to work. So, and one person won't have the answers. So, people who've been really solution focused and they go in and they have all the solutions, no, they can't do that alone anymore. So, engaging others, thinking it through together. So, you get a collective mind to come up with the best possibilities. And as we said earlier, you're going to have to do lots of experiments. You're not sure what's going to work. It's to count on things not changing and not going back to normal. It's never no going back. So how do we invite people into innovative thinking to leverage what we've learned? Some companies have done really well with taking these situations and, look at Amazon, lots of companies have really looked at the opportunities that's set before them. So what are the opportunities that this kind of environment fosters for them?
I think that we're used to, in the past, jumping to solutions. We hear leaders all the time saying, I don't want you to come to me with a problem, I want you to come to me with a solution. But the reality is no one individual can come to them with that. In fact, we encourage people now to get better at sitting in the fire of the problem and looking at it from more perspectives, looking at the context with new eyes, and perhaps together they can figure out this innovation. But it's not going to be quick wins like they might be hoping it's going to be. This ongoing emergent process. And in the midst of that, they have to hold each other in care because the pressure is going to continue to be on the individuals, the families that they have, our society, and to treat each other with care as we're going through these times. That's compassion and care and courage. It has to go together.
Yeah, and all of helping the workforce to build resilience, those are some of the elements. So making sure people feel connected to the purpose, their why, and the leader develops self-awareness, but how do teams and the whole organization develop awareness of how they're working and what might they be doing to contribute to the way things are that they don't want to continue? And how do we share stories of courage in that situation, of how we've actually come through situations and taken a challenge and come out on the other side and feel really successful? So sharing successful stories, but the compassion piece for themselves, looking after self, but compassion for the others. Those things, if they're working together, that'll help the leader as an individual, but also the collective, to build resilience, to be able to dance with all the changes that are coming. And we also ask them to say, you have to start asking different questions. The first one is, how might I be wrong? There's the second one is, what do I want to be now? What is the leader I want to be? And there's more. There's I always forget the third question, but I'm only good on two. But it's, how can I be wrong? But it's also about taking different perspectives. what are the assumptions that I'm making that might not be correct? How would I know they're wrong? And how might I be the one contributing to making a mistake?
And one of those other questions that you were speaking of is, why do I believe what I believe?
Yeah.
How could that be wrong?
Yeah.
Really beginning to get at the assumptions that are driving how we're working now, and looking at what would be more life-giving ones, and what would be more that would actually help us be more productive and efficient as well. So it's at some sort of underneath, under the ground. We're digging deeper now to find the kinds of way forward than we were before. We have to really get below the surface of the habits that we've got. And I think people are prepared to do that now. We're digging deep now to do the work we need to do.
And we have to be stepping up. You have to get your head out of the weeds and be looking up at the organization and looking at the bigger picture. And one of our favorite authors, Jennifer Garvey-Berger, talks about looking at it like a weather map. What are all the influences that are going to be affecting us? If we were in BC right now, that rainstorm coming in. So in your organization, what are the potential weather patterns coming in that can affect you, so that you can be prepared to navigate it, to tack in a different direction if you need to. So those are, if they can have a few of those skills, they'll succeed, and call us if they want help with that. That's another thing they could do. We'd be delighted to work with leaders and organizations who are wanting to learn new ways of being and doing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so those that want to lead with courage in 2022,
call courage.
Have the courage to call courage.
Yeah.